Hey everyone! So I first met Jon Snow on set of Unreasonable Rob, which is a new series that just wrapped up filming here in Nova Scotia. He's in a few episodes, has like a pretty funny role. I was in a few episodes just as background, so watch out for that. It's coming in the future. It's awesome. So the more I learned about him, the more I realized that I wanted to interview him for my channel because he was so relatable and he also went through the bullshit of addiction and now lives a healthier and happier life. So you can listen to his music on Spotify, watch his music videos here on YouTube, or you can follow him across all of the socials. I hope you enjoy.
All those cool conversations about how you're going to build all these businesses done.
I know, so true. Okay, so thank you for coming on my channel to talk about you and your story, which I don't even really know much about at all. So I feel like there'd be a lot of people who watch my channel that could relate to you. So really, this will be a first time for me too, hearing your story of like how you get to where you're at now. How did you get to the point now where you're over a year sober? Is that right?
The last time I drank was like before Halloween 2020.
Wow. Do you have a date or no?
I remember we were like performing in Moncton, me and Stax, my buddy Stax, and we were drinking and partying and doing drugs and stuff and just like going hard and it was just like one of the last times I was just like I just knew that it wasn't for me anymore, and it's just like, man, when I was younger I could party and you know, take ecstasy and cocaine and all weekend long and you know, I feel fine, but like as I was getting older, like doing those things just took so much out of my body, and you know, I'd be like hungover for like a day, 2 days, and you know, I started having to like realize like, yo, I can't even do this because I got things to do. Like I would miss things. Like I remember we were like, I would need to do things like shoot a video the next day, and I'd be partying the night before, and I would just like, I would really like hurt myself by like doing that because, you know, I would never be like, I wasn't 100% when I needed to do the things I needed to do. Yeah. But I always get excited and everyone's like, oh, well, we should celebrate. And you're like, this is before we even did the thing we needed to do. So like, like it just, celebrating became too much of a habit. And I started realizing like, what are we even celebrating? Like, we don't have nothing to celebrate. We're broke the next day and like, like there's nothing to celebrate. So I just, it came to a point where it's like, you know, I would go out and I would drink a couple drinks. I don't like alcohol. I don't like the taste of it. You know, I find it's like it's just gross, right? So when I did drink, it would be just to get drunk, and just to get those effects, and just to be like everyone else. And you know, a lot of it's like the whole peer pressure thing too, because you know, you want to fit in with everybody, and everybody seems to drink and party.
I'm trying to find myself. I've been defined as a one of a kind. I've just combined all of my skills through time.
So yeah, you just try to blend in with everybody else.
Yeah.
And yeah, I did the exact same thing. And sure, yeah, it was fun, but like it gets a little repetitive and a little much, because you're like, okay, I always called it that I was living on tour. I was acting like I was living on tour, or living like I was, on tour constantly, because I was constantly partying. But for what? Like it was starting to get in the way of things. Yeah. And like I showed up to my best friend's baby shower, like obliterated hungover after like an hour's sleep and all that. And I was like, I gotta get my shit together. So that's what it sounds like for you, where you're like, was that the case where you're like, I just can't?
Well, honestly, like I used to drink and stuff when I was a kid, and I used to like just get super, super drunk, and you know, like growing up, I would just drink and I'd get obnoxious and want to fight people and stuff, and you know, I would get so drunk to where it's like, you know, I'd be puking all over the place, and like I'd wake up and puke all over my bed, and like, you know, feel like crap the next day, like my head just pounding. So I was never really a fan of drinking, but as I got older, you know, drinking wasn't just drinking, because as soon as you start drinking, people started pouring out the cocaine, the blow, right? And it's like, that was my biggest downfall, because I love the uppers. I love when like feeling up and everything's great. And I already got ADHD, so like I'm already hyper as it is. So you could imagine me like high on coke, just blah, blah, blah.
God.
So I would love it. And like that's what really was hard for me, because like it would hurt my body the next day. Like I'd feel like crap. Like I started getting like negative thoughts. Like, this just like, I know as it is the devil, like trying to like convince me like, oh, you're not good enough, this and that, you suck, you shouldn't have done that, you waste all your money, you look, you know what I mean? Whatever thoughts he can put in your head, he does. But like, it was just, for me, it was just like, I can't even do this anymore. Like, it was just too much. I'd go out and people would just start pouring it out. Like, it'd just be for free. People would just, and I would try to say no to it, and it would just be too much to say no. And every time it became the same thing, repetitive, over and over and over again. So what I did, I just basically got on my knees and I prayed and I asked God to get me off of it, because I couldn't see another way. Like, it was all the same thing. It was like every time I go out with these people, and it would be any different people, like it was all the same. Like they all just start drinking, then boom, here it goes. Let's just start doing it.
How do you break the cycle? What do you do?
Well, here's the thing. I noticed that every time I did coke with these people, it would always be these fake conversations, like about this, like, oh, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that, and oh, we're gonna be great and it's all gonna be awesome. And I'd have to tell people, listen, we're high on coke. This isn't gonna happen. And they'd be like, no, I'm not high. And I'm like, bro, I just watched you do a line. We're high.
Yeah.
Right. So like, it just came to the point where like nothing is real.
Yeah.
When you're on coke, when you're partying, nothing's real. It's all fake, but it feels real, and sometimes it feels really, really good, and that's why you chase it. But none of it's real. So I'm only searching for real stuff, and that's why I just didn't want to do it anymore. It was just a lot of fake people, only there for you when you got stuff, and that's just it. So like, it's hard. It's hard on the head to be around that environment, because slowly you start to see it. It sounded like you reached a point of like, I need to surrender, and I'm just like, this is it, and threw it over to God. I threw it to God, and over time I didn't notice it, but over time I noticed like, oh, I haven't done coke in a couple months. And then like I haven't done it in like a couple I haven't done it in a year. And then like I haven't drank, and it all came with it. I quit smoking cigarettes. I quit doing a lot of things, right? Like I felt like God was just like speaking to my heart, telling me it's time to change. Like, you've done it your way all your life and you failed. And I agree, it is time to change. And I am trying to do it more of God's way, because my way failed. It failed miserably.
And if that's working for you, then
it is.
Then there you go. Then 100%. No one can say shit.
That's exactly
right.
It, right?
Yeah.
But there are naysayers out there, and they're all like, when I give credit to God, like, oh, you should give credit to yourself, and you did this, and no, God can do this. And I'm just like, every time I hear that just means to me that I should give more credit to God, because I know I couldn't have done it. I couldn't have. I'm not that strong, and I've been in this position where I've tried to do it and failed over and over and over. And then the one time I did give it to God, he actually came and showed up. So that's all I can say, right? Yeah,
that's interesting, because like, I don't know that side of things. Like I did have like a spiritual moment, which I have a video on my YouTube channel about that. But and I did feel like I had to like give something over to a higher power, but I would never say the G word for the longest time. And it always such a weird thing for me. So I love hearing people talk about it, because it's new to me. Like, I don't know what that's like. So that's so interesting. And because you're right, people are like, no, you did all the work. Yeah. He had nothing to do with it. Yeah. But you're like, no.
I'm the one living this life. I know. Yeah. I know that I can only do it through him, right? Because it's just, it's crazy, because I was at a point where it's like I felt myself just falling down to like this repetitive, nonstop partying, and we were celebrating nothing. Like, we didn't have nothing to celebrate. We're broke the next day, and we're like starting square one. Like, you save up all this money and then you go spend hundreds of dollars just to get rid of it. People don't really want to hang out with you. They just want to hang out with you because of what you got and what you're spending, and that's it. So I just realized that I needed to start focusing on me, and I stopped hanging out with a bunch of different people. I had to cut back a lot of different things, and it was tough, but feeling it now, like I don't wake up hungover with headaches.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do, but that's just probably from this, like, not like from hanging over, but like I can wake up with headaches or whatever, but not from drinking, at least.
Yeah. It's just from being around people and like the environment. Because the rap party you and I went to, which I'll probably say this in the intro, but where we were on the project together for Unreasonable Rob, and
Unreasonable Rob.
Fuck yeah. So
coming soon on SwearNet, baby, SwearNet.
I know.
Shout out to Pat State.
So awesome. No idea when it's gonna come out, but either way. Anyway, so we were at the rap party, and I found the next day, or even when I got home that night, and the next day, I felt, I consumed nothing, of course. But it's like you're full of endorphins. I think that's what it was. And the next day, I felt a little hungover, even though I wasn't. I think it's like being so amped and being around so many people and in that environment.
So people would come to me like that one girl. We'll not mention the name, but we know the one girl, right? She'd be like, "You're boring. You're not even having fun." And that was draining because I'm just like trying to be there. I'm trying to be here, and I'm trying to like. Maybe I just didn't feel like I was having fun, but it's tough when everyone's just drinking and they're all loud, and sometimes it's just a little too much. So maybe I don't look like I'm having a good time, but I was having a good time.
Yeah, same. And I've heard that too of myself, and I'm like, I'm just at a lower level than you guys are. So how do you navigate being in a social situation where everyone is on level 12?
Well, here's the thing. I was never like an alcoholic. I always drank just to drink, just to party. Like I was a drug addict. Like that's what I'd like to do. I like to get high. I like to party and stuff. So I was never an alcoholic. So I don't like to drink. And like, you know, even if when I was around people who did drink and I didn't mind, I'd have like two beer and I'd just start feeling like, yeah, this is gross. Start smoking weed, right? Yeah. That's how I would do it. But so, you know, the drinking doesn't affect me. But when people started doing the drugs, that's when it would affect me, right? But when I'm sober and I'm in control of my thoughts, I can fight it. But let's say I started drinking that night. I started drinking and then all of a sudden I'm loose. Yeah. Someone starts pouring out the Coke. I probably couldn't say no. It'd probably be harder for me to say no. And then I'd be back in that same situation. So I just stay away from all of it because I know where it leads to. Right?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, at least a lot of the people I know, then that's where it's usually going to end up. And even if not, even if, because I have lots of friends who just drink and nothing else. They do exist. It's crazy. But even then, I'm like, I'll make sure that I like leave earlier or whatever. And like, who fucking cares if you look like you're boring or lame for leaving a bit? So what? Yeah. You're preserving your own mental health.
Yeah, I'm far past not really caring what people think of me anymore.
Exactly. So how do you stay? First off, do you even like the term clean? I know some people don't like the term clean from drugs, clean and sober. You know, like you were never dirty. Did you?
Well, yeah, I kind of was dirty. I used to do drugs all the time, like you know, but. See, I don't say I'm clean because I still smoke weed and like I still smoke shatter and stuff. So like I wouldn't say I'm clean because I still kind of use a substance to like kind of take off the stress. But I'm working on it, and that's one thing I have been asking God to help me with. Like I don't want to do anything that God doesn't want me to do, right? So I'm trying to like get closer. So like if I'm doing things that's like gonna hurt my body, I don't know it, but I think it's cool because it's fun and it helps me out. I'm trying to get away from it, but the weed's been like the hardest one for me.
Yeah.
Like, the cigarettes, the Coke, it's all been a little bit. It's been easy for God to help me with that, but I think there's a test in it all. I think there's a bigger test in this. So I do smoke weed, and I find it like it definitely helps me. Like man, my mind races a lot. So when I smoke weed, it calms me down. Like and I find if I don't do it all day, like I just start getting anxiety. Maybe I'm addicted to it. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm just justifying it and I shouldn't.
I don't know. I can't smoke weed and I haven't in years, but I know many people that do because it helps in so many ways. And I get that question a lot too. Like, first of all, you can call yourself whatever, and there's no fucking rules. We're all human. We're all different. We're all so different in what affects us in what ways or whatever. So you can't say that someone isn't clean and sober if they still smoke weed. Some people say that. Some people say that it doesn't matter. It's however things affect you.
I would give my life and hope that love's enough. Please don't take me now, 'cause I'm not ready to go. I'm not ready to go.
I knew a lot of people who were alcoholics. Like one of my best friends, Danny, new guy, he passed away, God rest his soul. But he was an alcoholic, like a bad one. And I lived with him in Toronto for a few months, and it was bad. Like he would wake up with like shaking, and like he had to go like steal some Fax, 10% Fax beers just to in the morning just to get going. And it was really bad, man, to see him like that. Like and like just waking up and you'd be sick from not drinking.
Yeah.
And it was hard to see, right? Like
that's so hard.
Yeah.
That's so hard to see. But yeah, there's a lot of people who are in that state who are able to get better and heal. I've seen it.
No, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta want it though.
That's exactly. Then completely surrender, whether you surrender to a higher power or whatever, even just to surrender to the idea that you can't control it anymore.
Yeah.
As long as
we can't control it.
No.
Here's the thing, we can't. No matter what we try to tell ourselves, we can't control it.
Yeah.
And it's not like, well, I can just have one. Well, no, because then you just justified it, and then you're gonna start justifying it again and again and again.
Yep.
Until then you're in a spot where it's like, how did I get here?
Yeah, exactly. And I don't want to do that because I've built and you probably did the same, built your life up so much so that we can't fall backwards because we keep building our life up higher and higher, and doing better and making more improvements in our life. So it makes it even more so that you don't want to fuck up.
Yeah.
Because you'll lose even more. That's how I feel. Because it's like, so keep building yourself up is what I tell people. Like, keep doing things and adding things to your life that would make it harder for you to step backwards.
Yeah, and now that I've like not done it for this long, I would feel bad if I did because like went so long without it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and then I was like broke it, right? So like, and I'm never gonna say I'm not gonna be like, oh, I quit forever because I don't want to put that much pressure on myself, right? And then I let myself down. So I'm just not doing it for now and for as long as I can not do it for. But if I ever slip up and make a mistake, you know, things happen. You know, you could be like things happen where like just don't be too hard on yourself. Just pick back up where you left off and just keep going.
Exactly.
Right? Because, you know, people make mistakes, people have slip ups and, you know, they relapse, whatever. And, you know, you just got to remember that, you know, you can start again and it's not over because you made a slip. Right?
For real.
A lot of people are hard on themselves when they slip. So they're like, you know what, screw it. I'm already this far. I might as well just go all in. And they really damage themselves more. You know, the whole thing where we're our own worst enemy really is true. And we're in a battle against ourselves daily. Constantly, and it sucks because, like, you know, imagine if we didn't have to fight ourselves every day. It'd be such a peaceful life. But you know what I mean. We're in a battle every day with ourselves, and like you gotta try to find peace somewhere. So I try to just like be the bigger me, I guess. Like if there's two of me and I'm fighting myself, I'm trying to be the bigger one. I'm trying to be the one in charge, right? I'm not gonna let the one trying to destroy me be in charge.
I guess, eh?
Right?
Yeah, because I was gonna ask you. So how do you get through like tough times now? Since you're not freaking partying anymore and numbing yourself out anymore, because that's what it really was, I'm sure. Same for me. Partying, I was just numbing. I wasn't thinking. I wasn't doing anything, just having fun in the moment. So now that you're not doing that anymore, how do you get through hard times?
Do you know what I do? It's not even hard times. We're all gonna have hard times. But you know what I do to keep myself busy? I play online reality games.
Okay.
Like Survivor and Big Brother. They have those games, but they're online, and like you play it through like the Zoom meetings stuff on video. Like so, it's like the whole game, but you're online doing it.
Oh.
And there's like a whole community of like orgs, they call them, online reality games, orgs.
Okay.
And people sign up to play these games. There's competitions, and like there's it's crazy. Like so, I actually just won Big Brother Expedition All Stars. I won the whole thing, and it was a tough one. But and you know those games too. Like those games really keep your mind sharp because like there's a lot of people like. You want to feel like you can trust these people, but they're gonna snake you. Like it's Big Brother, it's Survivor, right?
Yeah.
So like there's times in these games where it mentally gets you because like you feel like you can trust somebody, but then they go against you. So I find like these games can take a lot out of you, but it also, if you're strong-minded as it is, it's easy to like it helps your mind because it really takes you through everyday problems. And stuff like that. So what I want to do, I want to strengthen my mind because that's where it all starts. Like if you're fighting yourself, you're fighting your own mind. So I noticed when I was doing drugs and drinking, I'd be like, I wasn't in control of my mind, and thoughts would come in that I wasn't in control of. Like negative thoughts, like, oh, you should end it. Even suicidal thoughts, they come to everybody. We all have them. Yeah. And those thoughts are the thoughts that I want to control. I don't want those to be roaming around free. I want to be in control of what's going out there. So I found once I quit doing drugs and drinking, I was in more control of my own thoughts. And I started like really focusing on how to gain more control of my thoughts so I didn't make stupid decisions. Yeah. Because, you know, if you're not in control of your thoughts, you can go make a stupid decision, which could end up in more decisions. Then you're like, you know what, screw it, I might as well drink.
Yeah. Or at least you understand where your thoughts are coming from. Because, same. I would have these random thoughts floating around my head. I'm like, where the hell did that come from? But now, we think our thoughts through. And they, at least for me, they don't catch me off guard anymore. Because you understand yourself better.
But imagine all the people who are going through life that don't understand that.
I know.
And they're just thinking that that's just, you know, they're fighting themselves without even knowing what they're fighting.
Yeah.
Right? And
there's another way. And so if someone's watching this, you're like, how can I control my mind? How can I feel like I'm fighting a losing battle here?
You know what?
Where would they start?
I would start, listen, this is not going to be people aren't going to like this, but I give all the credit to God, to Jesus, because he really changed my life, and he started changing me from the inside out. And like, it was it was a long battle where I just really worked for the devil, and I did a lot of bad things, and I hurt a lot of people, and you know, once God really shook me when I was in prison, and He showed me what was up. And you know, it's a longer story than that. Like, there's a whole thing about it. Like, it happened over months, but He showed me what was up, and I really started to want to do better. So I would say I couldn't have done it without God. So prayer would be the first start. And you know, people are like, "Well, how do you pray?" Like, prayer is like a hard thing to. If you don't understand it, it's hard to kind of grasp. But I pray as if God's just my best friend. I just talk to Him like that, and like I could just do it like right now. I could be in my head just praying, like talking to God, right? At any point, any day, any time, and it honestly really works. And I know people can laugh at it all they want, but until you try it, you know what I mean, don't knock it until you try it.
For real,
right?
yeah. It must make you feel good too. I would imagine, because I've prayed before, and I was like, "Oh, this feels sort of nice."
But I've seen prayers answered, like
Yeah.
sometimes instantly, like some crazy stuff. So like I've seen God change my life and other people's lives. So, and I've also seen the devil working really hard right now in this world, and it's evil. It's pretty bad. So like, once I'm seeing all this stuff, I'm seeing it from like a different perspective.
Yeah.
There's a lot more going on, and the devil wants us all on booze. He wants us all messed up. He wants us all running around with nothing, right? But it says in the Bible to be sober-minded, and I'm trying to do more of what God wants for me, because if I'm trying to go on my own way, I'm just going to end up with a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
But if I try to do what God wants for me, He's going to allow me all these blessings. He's going to start giving me all this stuff. So I'm basically like trying to change from the inside out, which I can't do. We can't do it as humans. We don't have like the thing. So I look out to God, and that's what I do. And He does help. And I also understand why people can be angry with God, because you know, they see a lot of the stuff going on in this world. Yep. So I get that as well. But you know, it's all about a personal relationship.
Exactly.
And until you have one with our Creator, you will understand it. So you got to reach out. If you search, you know, you will find, right? You know what else I started doing too? I started watching the words I said, because the words you say are very powerful. Yeah. So I noticed one word that we all say: we hate everything. We hate everything. Everything we hate it. Hate this, hate that, hate this. I stopped saying hate, because I noticed that when you put out hate, you get back hate. So I stopped saying all these words. I stopped saying all these words that were detrimental to myself. Because if we're out there hating everything, imagine what's coming back to you. Like, so you got to really train your thoughts to watch what you say. If you're out there goddamning everything and cursing everything and fuck my life and everything, you know what I mean? You're just saying those things. Oh, screw my life. You know what I mean? You're really damaging yourself by putting out these words. So by training your brain to not say things. Because those are curses. If you're saying I hate this, hate that, you know, you're cursing yourself.
And complaining about everything.
You're cursing yourself. So try to think positive, and you know, try to watch the things you say. So I don't say hate and stuff like that. I really train myself to not curse myself.
Yeah, it's hard, but
it's tough.
But once you get into it, like it's easier and easier. And some people might think like, oh, it's bullshit. Like, who cares? It doesn't actually do anything. It really, really does.
You always feel better too. You always feel better once you like get dressed and get up and stuff, and it's just, you know, just getting, I would say just to all that stuff would be just, if you're ever feeling down at home, just get in the shower. Shower really gets your brain going. If you ever feel like you're depressed, you don't want to get out of bed, just jump in the shower. When you're done the shower, I'm telling you, you're going to feel awake.
That's true.
You're gonna feel awake.
You feel human again.
Yeah, you're gonna feel awake. So that's would be my suggestion. Jump in the shower. If you're ever feeling down and you don't want to do nothing, you're in your bed, jump in the shower. Force yourself in it, and you'll feel better once you get out. Trust me.
Yeah, that's true. That's a really good tip too. Yeah. Is there anything else that you'd want to talk about?
Well, you know, basically, if you're on your journey to being sober, it's gonna be tough, and you know, people are gonna try to pull you back in, and it might be tough to say no to these things, but the more you say no, the easier it gets. And the more you separate yourself from these people, the easier it gets. And the more you do it, the less they're going to try to get you to come out, because they're going to realize that they can't control you and they can't, you know, manipulate you into those things, and they're just going to give up. So you just really got to just hold this. If you're holding cryptocurrency, hold on to the soberness. Just keep holding. Hold strong.
Just hold strong, for real. And like, your people will find you too. That's another thing.
Oh yeah, there's people out there for you. Sober people out there who want to help you. You just got to make that change from the past pack, because those guys are all going in the same direction, and that's down.
Yeah, and you deserve to go up. You deserve more in your life. After the age of 30 too, because I got sober at 30, so I don't know what it's like to have a hangover in your 30s.
It sucks.
It sucks, right? Like, it's way worse than when you're in your 20s.
Yeah. And we don't drink water, so we don't stay hydrated, and we don't eat properly, so we're definitely hurting our bodies when we party.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're a guy, so you would have partied harder than I did in your
for sure.
20s.
You can't out-party me. When I'm going in my, whenever my prime, there's no one, like, because, like, the drugs can keep you up for days.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
it's hard to out-party someone who just keeps going.
Yeah, and I know that's true. So yeah, in your 30s, like that could only just hurt in so many
Yeah.
more ways, like mentally, spiritually, physically,
does.
just be so much.
It leaves you
fucking worse.
depleted. It leaves you defeated with
Yeah.
nothing, like, all those fake conversations of how everyone loved you when you were high. Those it's done with. Everyone's gone. You got nothing. Like, you're out of cigarettes. You're out of everything. You got nothing. Like,
Yes.
all those cool conversations about how you were going to build all these businesses, done.
I know, it's so true. So true. Oh my
It's over.
God. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Good riddance. And I always say, like, I'm glad I had those days.
I mean, yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, but I'm also really glad they're done.
Yeah.
But that's all the questions that I had. There wasn't anything else, really, was there?
All right, stay in school, kids.
For real. And oh yeah, and so I'll have your information at the bottom of the video, but where else can people find you?
Oh yeah, check me out on Instagram, Jon Snow, King of the North. I'm on TikTok. I don't really post there much though, but I'm on Facebook, Jon Snow. I'm dropping a new album soon. I got videos on deck. Check out my YouTube channel. Subscribe to it. Also, subscribe to her channel too. Like and subscribe on this post because we appreciate it.
Yeah. Awesome. Very good. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we're going to go have pita pit now. So, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay, thanks.
People always end up leaving, that's why I won't get too close. Stick to things that I believe in. I don't drink, but I'll still toast to the things that I'm achieving. Sorry, I don't mean to boast. I don't talk about my money, things that I don't really post. I don't really care, I'm not over there. I stay over here, far away and clear. All of you seem weird, I don't live in fear. Searching for what's rare, it's the moment where nothing can compare. I don't think